and then now up into southern Washington County, and there are a lot of homes there too, along Blair High Road, and as you get up here into southern Washington County. So this is headed toward Fort Calhoun, but now until 8 o'clock. And again, these things are brief. These things are hard to really get a lead on, but we were trying to tell you with the wind that was so strong moving through that area. So again, under a severe thunderstorm warning, potential for a brief little tornado spin up. Let's go to reflectivity on OAX and animate this so you get a sense where you can see where this is kind of pushing out right there. So this is the leading edge right through here. You know, if you're in Fort Calhoun, you're right in the path. Again, it could be that it's just strong straight line winds, but there is the potential on these leading edge to get these brief spin ups. I don't know if we have our camera at TD Ameritrade. Can we take that and point that north? All right, so keep going north. So that is the storm right there that has a tornado warning on it. This is out at 108th and Dodge looking north. Perfect. That's a great view right there. And actually pan a little more to the right, just a bit. So you're looking at, see the front edge has the lowest sort of cloud base right in through there. I don't know if you can just telestrate and draw that right there. But again, right above the West Dodge Expressway, that's where you're looking. I mean, this is not going to be a classic tornado, but maybe a brief spin up right through there. And again, this is very far northern Douglas County, you know, kind of north of the Lake Cunningham area, up into southern parts of Washington County and then moving eastward. But a fascinating view there. Again, that's exactly the area that we're looking at. Got Crown Point camera? We're going to have to spin that. Oh, that's good. Okay, now we could zoom in a little bit. That'd be great. Zoom on that line. Wow. All right, let's see if it'll focus. So almost looks like some little bit of dust or something in there, or leading edge rain. I don't know if you can chroma key me in here or not. Great. All right, so this would be maybe where the strongest winds are blowing right through here, and we were showing that, and possible rain and wind right through here. So these are the areas where maybe there's a little tornado in there, or very strong winds on the order of 80 to 90 miles per hour, stirring up some of this dust right through here. So that is ominous view for sure. And this is, we're going to keep watching this because this is going to track out beyond this. This is 72nd Street right there. And if we switch over real quick to our links radar, we'll show you the kind of the same area. So this is it right here. You see this little notch right here, this little hook. So 72nd Street kind of comes right up through here. So that's what we're looking at from the radar. There's heavy rain coming down in through here and probably hail too. But this little hook on the front edge, that might be where there is a little small tornado. And how about if we go to velocity right in through there too? Switch back over DLS, good, okay.
Siren sounding off in Douglas County right now. Yeah,
and again, because you got this potential tornado here, it's not a perfect couplet, right? But again, what we're looking at, this is coming toward Omaha. Our radar is right here toward us, and this is going away from us. So it's about as good as you're going to get for close. And then if we could just kind of sample the wind speeds, how about this red away just south of Fort Calhoun right here? That really right under the L there. 46 going that way. And then these winds right here. If we have anything coming south, we're at 7, anything a little stronger than that here. And I can't, should have my glasses. I can't read it at this point here. But again, you've got an area of couplet in here, area of rotation. And now if you go over to OAX velocity here, and then go to velocity on this one, there you go, right through here. So this again is the same couplet. How strong is this wind being sampled by? So this is...
Just switch it over to storm relative velocity.
Okay, I wanted to go back to the other one and just get the speed of the wind if we could. Yeah, right there. Pick the hottest pink that you can pick right there.
And they did extend that tornado warning, Harrison, Pottawattamie County, now until 8:15.
Right, and this one's in purple here, so is that more confirmation?
Not confirmed, still radar indicated. It's over Fort Calhoun right now, and it's sped up a bit as
Yep.
this starts to bow out. 60 miles an hour moving now.
Right. And you can see how that wind is. All right, let's go back over
Says
to our
confirmed, but I
Skycam.
haven't seen that yet.
Go ahead, I'm sorry, Caitlin.
It's reporting right here on our links that it's confirmed, but I have not seen
Confirmation of it.
confirmation
But
yet.
that's why it's purple instead of red.
Yes.
At least as far as the radar is concerned here. Now let's go back over to our Skycam. I know we've got it in the smaller screen, but I want to put it up on the full one here. We've got a better view. And then pan that a little bit to the right, just a smidge. There you go, just in that direction. Perfect. So that's what we're looking at, and it's that leading edge that's kind of coming out of where the tower is located through there. That's the leading edge of where potentially is a tornado. This is north of 72nd Street, all the way across the county line into Washington County. So if you're hearing siren sound in Omaha, it's because of this storm that's just off to the north of us. So there's not really an immediate threat of a tornado in Omaha proper. It's this cell farther north. And now we kind of almost have to look at the lightning to see if there's any kind of lowered cloud base. And it's actually going to be on the leading edge. Again, I don't know if you can kind of chroma key me back in here. It's bad if I pop in, I suppose, but I'll try and walk in to the picture here.
We are seeing a confirmed funnel cloud at very least with this.
Okay, confirmed funnel
That's
cloud, very
spotted.
good. And now let's go back over to the Skycam. Great. So this is it right through here. And this is the base of the cloud here. You know, and from our angle from the south here, we're trying to see is there, anything reaching the ground. It's a little ways off to the north here, but it's kind of hard to see that there is that. But there is extremely heavy rain coming on down right there. So this is the really heavy rain and hail occurring. And, these are not classic kind of tornado things. So the hail is actually behind where there potentially is a tornado. It would be on the leading edge there that's moving off to the northeast. So this is up 72nd Street, past Lake Cunningham, and actually across the county line into southern Washington County, where you have this lowered cloud base and you do have the potential rotation. All right, get back over to links if we could, because that is a good view we've got on the radar here too. There you go, there's Fort Calhoun, and you see how it's kind of punched out right through here. Now let's go to velocity again, or de-alias velocity in through here. And these are going away from Omaha at a pretty fast speed here, and this is coming in towards. So this area kind of between Fort Calhoun and Nashville, right there, heading across the Missouri River in the vicinity of Loveland is what it's headed to. This is fairly sparse as far as population goes in this area here, but that's where it's located. Let's go back over to reflectivity on OAX, and again, this is TD Ameritrade looking off to the north, so this is the lowered cloud area. This is a little farther away because you see the towers over here? The one with the white flashing lights is our KETV tower, and that's actually closer to this, but this obviously has an unimpeded view in this direction. So it's looking off to the north. A lot of lightning with this, and again, this is moving across southern Washington County, right about over Fort Calhoun. Really, if you're in Fort Calhoun, you're going to get extremely strong winds. You should be in safe shelter. It's over you right now, actually. And if we switch back over to links, you'll get a view of that. So you see how that's kind of, that point is out there right over Fort Calhoun. That's the leading edge where potentially some of the strongest winds are occurring right here. And now, having surged over Fort Calhoun into southeastern parts of Washington County and crossing the river into very northwest Pottawattamie County. That is OAX's brief velocity. I want,
Yes.
if you could you animate that for me?
This is over the past 15 minutes.
Right, so look at how far it moved here. This was west of Bennington, northeast of Bennington, right here just south of Fort Calhoun, and now up in through here. This is the little weakness that we have right there. So it's, if this is right, it's gone just barely south of Fort Calhoun, and now is actually into northwestern Pottawattamie County, the little area of rotation. This warning goes until 8:15, tornado warning. And, Douglas County is actually south of this, so this new warning technically doesn't include Douglas County, and really the storm was far to the north. But looking at that, I'm sure there probably was some wind damage here in this area around Bennington, and then this is actually like South Blair here, that a lot of these folks across the county line, very strong winds move through that narrow corridor. All right, let's widen out a little bit and see about some of the other storms that are coming across the area here. Again, we got severe thunderstorm warning. How long does this one go till now?
We got the same, this larger polygon that does include the metro area. It's at 8:45. The one to the north is the include Harrison. It's at 8:15. And the first southern one, the polygon that includes Crate and also just north of Beatrice, Gage County as well. It's at 8:30. So still looking at about 30 minutes maximum with
Right.
these
Yeah, these
polygons.
things, it hasn't rained yet in downtown Omaha. It's raining hard in Lincoln. You see the storms are
And-
right on the top of Lincoln. Go ahead, Caitlin.
That Lincoln, I was about to say, as downburst, we're seeing that signature in Lincoln. Lots of water-coated hail. And so they're getting quite a bit of moisture right there in Lincoln, and you can see just how bright that reflectivity is.
Right. Let's go ahead and switch it over to our radar and then ZDR, and we'll see if there's any. I'm sure there's probably some hail in through here. So first, you got to go to our reflectivity, and then go to ZDR, and you see this blanked out here, and now go to correlation coefficient. And so these areas right here, so kind of between Lincoln and Eagle, right in through here, on this back edge, there would be some hail that's occurring. And then go back over to OAX reflectivity, and that's kind of coincide. This is a little bit old, this picture, but this is the heaviest rain, and as Caitlin mentioned, likely some hail that moved right over Lincoln as well. So this is coming eastward. So we still have to watch this area, and also this one coming here into northwestern Cass County and Sarpy County. Go ahead, I'm sorry, repeat that. We got a live view of the rain near Waverly. Okay. Okay, so not as dark. This is that camera we showed you before, I-80 at about the Cornhusker exit. That's in that northeast part of Lincoln. A lot of lightning, a tremendous amount of lightning occurring there. And again, that's the deal, is that there's so much cloud to ground lightning, you just can't safely be outside right now. And obviously very wet. You see the road there as the rain has come on down. We could certainly take some heavy duty rainfall around here. Would be a good thing, but the speed of the thunderstorms are not going to allow for anybody to get more than probably, half an inch of rain in some spots. Maybe somebody will get lucky and get 3/4 of an inch of rain from one of these, but this stuff is moving fairly quickly eastward. Watching this right here, all these little things, you're just always watching to see if there'll be a little spin up that happens. Let's pan a little farther north here into Gretna, Sarpy County. You see the lines of thunderstorms there, and back in here, the warning expanded now into Harrison County, Shelby County, goes until 9 o'clock. That includes Harlan. I wanted to look at this here, having come north of Ashland, because this is a continuation. Remember, we had the earlier tornado warning in Seward County, then Lancaster County. That's now coming out here into the area around Mahoney State Park, coming across the river, the interstate right here. This is Highway 6, this little line goes through Ashland and Lenoma Beach. This is I-80 right through here. I want to look at this in velocity mode if we could here, so just, okay. And I guess we've got a live look from that area too. Highway 6 and 31, so this is just kind of north of the Gretna Outlet Mall area there, Nebraska Crossing. You can see how it's pouring down rain. Look at the lightning strike in the distance there. So heavy rain occurring. That's the thunderstorm that's coming on through. Some potential for wind. You see some of the wheat or dead grass that's sort of blowing there. Not super strong there at the moment, but certainly the potential there. All right, back on the radar here. So we're watching this area right through here. Let's get back to the tornado warning that we have that goes until 8:15. That's up into Washington County, and actually the storm itself that produced that is probably into this northwest corner of Pottawattamie County, and now coming into south parts of Harrison County. Goes till 8:15. So this is where we had the circulation. Let's go to reflectivity on ours. There it is. Okay, go with it again. Let's switch back over to
Velocity.
look at that. So that is our camera at 72nd and Crown. I want you to pan a little bit more to the right if we could, because this is the same thunderstorm. And we want to be at least as high up as we can. There you go. You're looking at the lowered cloud base off to the northeast, and again, right at the edge where you see the lightning strikes occurring. That would be if there is a surface tornado. And again, sometimes the funnel will be aloft and there'll be a connection to the ground. Sometimes it's just very strong wind. But you can see how there is that lowered cloud base right there off to the center part of the screen. It gets lit up right there. That's what we're tracking. All right, now back on, wow, that's a great view when the lightning is bright like that. Okay, this is north of Omaha. There's, at this point, no threat to Omaha from that storm, but I want you to go back over to Max if we could, because it's this area right here, that's the lowered cloud base. And now it's up here, kind of between Loveland and Missouri Valley. So this is where there's still the same storm that moved on the north side of Bennington, moved just south of Fort Calhoun. It's right through here. Let's go ahead and sample the speeds here that we've got. So this is outbound 72.2 miles an hour, and outbound, what is that, 17?
17, yeah.
Okay, so we got like 55 miles an hour of shear in through here. And it's kind of what we've been seeing. So if there is a tornado, that's where it is, just barely southeast of Missouri Valley. So far, I don't know, I guess I shouldn't say we've been lucky. I mean, I really don't know. It hasn't gone directly over Fort Calhoun. It didn't go directly over Bennington, but there are a lot of populated areas there in northern Douglas County, southern Washington County, a little more loosely populated out here. I know there are some homes out here, but Missouri Valley, kind of right in through here. This is just a couple miles southeast of Missouri Valley. Okay, we got crews on the way to Bennington and Fort Calhoun to kind of survey if there's any damage. And then see this right here, now getting a little bit beyond Missouri Valley. So it's just barely south of Missouri Valley and tracking here into Harrison County. So some good news, maybe, in that it hasn't kind of tracked over the most populated areas, and it did just barely miss the Omaha Metro to the north. So we're watching that. Again, that warning goes until 8:15, tornado warning getting into Harrison County. It looks like this is going to be south of Logan, which is good. So pretty sparsely populated in here again as you get south of Logan. I'm going to get out of the way. Go ahead, Andrew. Just talked to somebody west or south of Fort Calhoun, but just west of Fort Calhoun had downed tree branches, which I'm sure was because of that storm. Is that Anthony tracking?
Yes, and if this storm still holds together, there's at least a week rotation we've been tracking. Logan at about 8:24, prepare for this potential funnel or potential tornado that's been somewhat confirmed in Pottawattamie County to arrive also into Woodbine in 8:39. Again, would you say, Bill, these locations are pretty sparsely populated? Or?
Yeah, unless you happen to go right over Missouri Valley or Logan or Woodbine. I mean, if it's just 2 miles south, 3 miles south, at least it won't be as populated of an area. I want to get back down into the Omaha Metro because it is raining good. Yeah, Methodist Women's Hospital camera here. Boy, heavy rain, lightning, really lighting it up brightly there. This is West Omaha. Looking back to the east, so you can see the West Dodge Expressway right there. And, I don't have a sense that it's been super windy there yet as the circulation with the tornado warning went by to the north of this area, but I'm sure there's at least some wind and obviously the rain and lightning occurring there. So certainly if anybody had outdoor activities there, that has to be curtailed until this system moves on by. TD Ameritrade camera coming up here now. Look at the lightning strike there. And the rain is just about into TD Ameritrade. You see the roads are wet there, so it's raining there now. Not certain that it's not, yeah, you can see rain on the camera lens there. 72nd and Crown Point, I don't think it was quite raining there yet, but 90th and Dodge, the American National Bank, I don't know if you have that on your list, you can punch that up, but that would be a chance to see how far it is into the middle of the city here. Again, these storms tracking up to the northeast and still kind of watching the storm down around Gretna too, because that was a continuation of what had tracked. Looks like it's just starting to rain there. You can see rain into the lights there, and wind pretty hard still out of the south. So obviously the rain is not quite yet to that point, but severe thunderstorm warning for the Omaha Metro. Guys, that warning, does that go till, is that 9 o'clock? The big one that goes across the area here covers a lot of Douglas, Sarpy, Pottawattamie.
It goes into 8:45.
8:45, very good.
And
Go ahead, Caitlin.
go ahead.
Well, we also received reports from Blair in Washington County of some downed trees, heavy rain, no reports of major size hail, but downed trees have been reported in the community of Blair. With that same storm we've been tracking with the stronger winds. At one point, we were looking at winds as high as 100.
Yeah, on
80
the
to
radar
100.
estimate for sure. Can we zoom into this spot down here around Gretna? Because this is kind of the continuation of the cell that came across Seward, then Lancaster County. It's now into this area right through here. And I want to look at, if we could, reflectivity first, and then OAX reflectivity on this one.
And Gretna is reporting a power outage at the moment as well.
So got a live look down here in Sarpy County in this particular area here, and you can see it's raining, and I'm sure that's hail. You can see it bouncing on the road. So this is just kind of south of, the town of Gretna, but near Nebraska crossing Outlet Mall, Highway 6 and Highway 31, heavy rain, and so at least some small hail bouncing up off the road there. And that is, again, big line of thunderstorms. All right, let's get back to Super Doppler 7 radar. And then, so the leading edge of these is where you really are watching these things for any kind of little spin up. So is this anything here, or is this just the way the radar looks? We'll check the velocity here. It doesn't look that suspicious right now. And again, this is pushing east. We're not going to get a good read on this because it's neither toward nor away from OAX. How about if we look at this on, if you hit reflectivity for us, and then switch over to velocity. Doesn't, so this is this is strong south winds ahead of the thunderstorm, and this is kind of the leading edge right in through here. So these are strong south winds. Go ahead, Caitlin.
Brand new tornado warning, Harrison and Shelby County until 8:30.
Okay.
Radar indicated seeing that rotation right near Logan right now, just south of Logan. Not strong rotation, but we are seeing all of the components there. This storm has been a little bit problematic as far as updrafts go, and so that's where we're seeing that right now. Also, brand new severe thunderstorm warning, Gage, Jefferson, Lancaster, Odo, Pawnee, and Johnson until 9. But that rotation right now over Logan.
Right. So here's Logan, and again, I think if we look at this really closely, our radar had a good view of this last time. So if you go to our reflectivity, and then switch over to de-alias velocity on this right there. So it's really close, but it looks like it's going to be, right there. Here's Logan right here, and this, it's a couple thousand people in Logan here. Let's animate this so you'll get a sense for where it's going. It was kind of coming this way through here. Yep, so it was here, right there, and now it's here. And it looks like it's going to be just barely south of Logan, because Logan's within just a couple of miles right there. Crown Point camera, again, this is looking out to the northeast now. So we've got this area here, and again, if you're in Logan, you're kind of in the path. This is, boy, it's pouring down rain here now. This is 72nd and Crown Point, underneath the thunderstorm. And if I don't know if you can pan this up at all, it probably can't go up any higher than that. Just kind of what we get when it's underneath the thunderstorm like that. A lot of flashes of lightning here and heavy rainfall. This is 72nd and Crown Point, but because it's raining hard now, we don't have a view anymore of what's occurring up there into Harrison County. But severe thunderstorm over the Omaha Metro right now. Tornado warning just up to the northeast, northeast of Missouri Valley, and just barely south of Logan. All right, let's get back to Max and Super Doppler 7 radar. And so this is the area. We've got to switch over to OAX reflectivity now in order to continue to track this. So this is it right here, just a little notch right there. Go to velocity here. There it is. And then we can animate that, but there's just not a lot that's in the path. I'll get out of the way a little bit. You can see where it went. So it was down here. Looks like it kind of tracked just south of Missouri Valley and is now tracking here and continuing to head to the northeast. I'm This is, you're in Logan, you should be in safe shelter, but I think it's going to be just barely south of Logan where this area of strong winds is going to occur. And I don't know if you want to go ahead and storm track that, but there's not much really in the path. Kind of going south of Logan, north of Portsmouth, south of Woodbine. I know the path widens out there in the direction of Erling, but those are the areas. But it looks like it's just barely south of that. I think that's Highway 30 that tracks up through there. I don't know if you can zoom in and look at it. Goes from Missouri Valley to Logan, the road that's up through there. So it's just south of that line.
So I do have a track pulled up. It's on traffic, but Logan, it'll be in your area here within the next 2 to 3 minutes. Panama, 8:39, Erling, 8:43, and then it continues on. It's moving very quickly, 55 miles an hour. Mineola, if it holds together, 8:57, and then Manning, that's a little bit out of our area, 9:06.
Yeah, that's right on the path. Thanks, Caitlin. All right, we're going to do a live look. We'd like to show folks. There you go. Wow.
Wow.
Look at the lightning strikes here. This is, again, that area near Nebraska Crossing, kind of just between Nebraska Crossing and the city of Gretna on Highway 31, so just north of the interstate, so Highway 6 and Highway 31. Raining hard. There was a little hail that we saw earlier in that area. A lot of collided ground lightning strikes. Could be some wind within that area. And again, kind of a tough situation now because it's dark. Nighttime, if you're farther west, David City, Wahoo, Seward, York, you've got some clearing and you can see the back edge of these thunderstorms really lighting up with lightning. But for us now over the Omaha Metro, we're underneath the thunderstorm. It's almost pitch black. Looks like we kind of lost our signal there because of the heavy rain. So there is a concern that, one of these things could spin up. It doesn't look like there's anything ominous, though, on the leading edge coming over Omaha. So that is good news for us. Just, Anthony, could you put the lightning strikes on there? And I'm just curious how much of that shows up. Wow. A lot of it. Just a lot of cloud to ground lightning occurring right now over the Omaha Metro. Just kind of indication of the strength of the thunderstorms. But the good news, the leading edges don't look like there's anything there that's starting to spin up. And just for good measure, take the lightning off, put on velocity. And these are all away colors. In here, I think that's probably fictitious there. If you go back to reflectivity, I don't think it's quite out to this area. Yeah, so that's not rain out there yet. But so the leading edge is just continuing to surge eastward. So the leading edge has some stronger winds, and you can see it pushing eastward. But in all likelihood, most of the Omaha Metro not seeing the tornadic potential that we saw north of us. I'm sorry, I missed that. Live look, Cobalt Credit Union. Okay, so this is down in Papillion where it's not quite yet raining. This is looking north. Look at the lightning strikes there. And can you pan that west? So to the left, and you're going to see, keep going, a lot of lightning. And there's the rain just starting to hit the camera because this is the wind is starting to blow into Papillion there. And that is right at 72nd and 370. And now the winds are going to pick up from the west. You had a strong south wind, and now all of a sudden the west wind's going to blow in there, along with the rain coming on through there. So that whole area, we've got actually a view of that if you go over to Max 1. That's this right here. So our camera is right there, so into the rain. Have to watch this little notch right in through here, down towards Cedar Creek, and look at it on reflectivity. Make sure there's nothing right through there. That's our radar. And then if you go to de-alias velocity, or if you go to, so this area right here doesn't look ominous on our radar. If you go back to OAX and look at it and look at it on velocity there too, doesn't look like too much. It kind of looks like, this area a little farther east, between Cedar Creek and Plattsmouth along the Platte River there. That's a spot where you could say maybe there's a little bit of weak rotation there, and we have to watch this spot through here. As the storms come across the Omaha Metro, we certainly hope there isn't any kind of a spin up, but that's something we're watching in this area right along the Platte River on the Sarpy-Cass County line, just west of Highway 75 right now, right in through here. You see how that's moving eastward here. So you had strong south winds blowing. You get northwest winds as the rain comes on through. That's the cold front sweeping on through. And what we don't want to see is any kind of bright green next to any deeper reds. There's a little bit of deeper red here, but this doesn't look too bad. Let's see what this is going outbound here. These spots right through there. 35, 32. So have to watch this area coming across northern part of Cass County, extreme southern Sarpy County. Go back to reflectivity and then widen out through here. And again, the radars are really useful, but be great if there was somebody out there watching it, because sometimes you just can't tell. And as you get to dark, it's even harder. So anywhere along these lines, this is the best circulation we've had, and longest lived one we've had, now up southeast and east of Logan. Let's zoom in. Harrison County. This is going to track north of Harlan, which again is good. So it went just southeast of Logan. Here's Portsmouth. It's going to be just west of there. Let's look at this in velocity mode here. And it's still very consistent right here. This was close, but it went just about a mile or two south of Logan. It's right here right now. And I'm very confident that if you're in Harlan, this is going to be north of you. This is tracking more in the direction of Erling. And let me get out of the way so you can see the track of where it was. So it was, I don't know if you can maybe circle it back where it was right in here. So we had it right earlier. If you could step back, people will get a really good idea of where this thing was. So it was right here. So draw a circle in these spots here. So we had it right here. So we had a circle here. So this is where it was.
Take it step by step every 5 minutes. All right.
There you go. So this is where it's at right now.
And an update to that tornado warning. It's been canceled for Shelby County, but still continues until 8:30 for Harrison County.
Okay, that's good. They might as well trim that off because, it's the track that it's taking, it might catch the corner of Shelby County, but it's not going to be there. But you can still see it right here. And that's a really strong outbound velocity. What is that little pink outbound away right here? 75 going that way and 19 coming in. Andrew, I'm sorry I missed that, but what do we have? Okay, our roof cam is showing the rain moving in to South Omaha here. You can see the rain kind of coursing across the camera lens. We're just getting into this northwest breeze now. Andrew's hoping for no hail because his car's outside, and a lot of ours are too. We haven't seen any huge hail in Omaha. I guess I should say that with my fingers crossed, or I shouldn't really even say that at all, but there probably is at least some occurring over Omaha. It looked like the biggest hail we saw earlier was out kind of in Saunders County, and then northern Lancaster County had some, and then it looked like there was some pretty good sized hail east of Fremont, maybe western Washington County, and then the winds were a big deal. It looked like in that area from north of Elkhorn, just on the north edge of Bennington, and then here's the Methodist Women's Hospital camera out in West Omaha. A lot of lightning still occurring. Lots of cloud-to-ground lightning over the Omaha Metro right now. This stuff continues to work eastward into Pottawattamie County. The heaviest rain is actually already done out here in West Omaha. Still raining lightly there, but not like it was.
And reporting 0 miles visibility nearly in Sarpy County emergency management there for the heavy rain.
I'm sure that that's the case. Caitlin, if you go back over to Max 1 here, we've got dual pole super Doppler 7 radar, and this is sampling OAX on the Valley radar site, but that's really, really heavy raining here, La Vista, Papillion, down towards Springfield. I'll bet you that our camera at 72nd and 370 looks different than it did just about 10 minutes ago, where the leading edge of the rain has now moved right over Papillion, so it looks like very heavy rain occurring in that area. I don't know if we have that camera right now or not. Okay, so leading edge pushing into Council Bluffs. This is, the camera's down at the Cobalt Credit Union because it is raining so hard. So we're still watching this. See how there's this little notch right here? Looks like the wind is blowing pretty hard. Again, this is tough because the radar just does not have a good view of these winds. There may be this area near La Platte right now. Kind of looks to me like there's a little bit of rotation in there. And that's the thing that we've been tracking. This probably is the continuation of what was the storm that was down first in Seward County, then Lancaster County. We had tornado warnings for those right in through here, because you got a green right here coming in toward, and you got some red going away, and you know, they're pretty close together here. So this is this leading edge. Again, if you go back to reflectivity, how does that look on reflectivity? Right through here. But again, the radar's got to cut through some pretty heavy rain. If we widen that out and animate that, I want to see how that looks coming in here. So very near La Platte, so not too far. We got 2 tornado warnings up here now to the northeast of us here. All right, let's animate this real quick. Right there, still doesn't look too impressive. Have to watch this down here into Otoe County. I saw there's new tornado warnings there up into Iowa. Is that correct?
That is correct. Just issued. That's for Harrison and Shelby now until 8:45. Tornado producing storm was located, so this is still radar indicated. It's 8 miles northeast of Logan or 25 miles southwest of Denison. It's moving to the northeast very quickly.
Yeah, that's this one. And then there's another tornado warning that's up into Crawford County here, including Denison. That goes until 9 o'clock. So if we look at velocity here, OAX velocity, yeah, so right there.
Yep, that
same
is
thing.
7 miles west of Denison. That was issued by Des Moines.
Yep.
That's moving northeast at 35 miles an hour, still radar indicated at this moment.
And the only good thing here, let's zoom into this one. This is going to miss Denison to the north here, because you'll see as we close in. Here's Denison. I mean, Denison's a pretty good sized city, but this is the couplet right through here. So that's your away. How about this pink right in through here? 76 and then 18, so, you know, pretty strong rotation of almost 60 miles an hour, 58 miles per hour, if my math is correct, from 76 minus 18. But that is your rotation right through here, but it's tracking to the east, and again, Denison's down here. So if you're in the middle of Crawford County, you're not too far from that. Schleswig is up to the north, and it's going to go between Denison and Schleswig, and probably near or just north of Deloitte. You can see it right here. That, again, looked pretty impressive back through here. Continuing to track to the northeast. This was kind of formed in this area of southwestern, southern Monona County here in Iowa. There's Mapleton, so it was sort of started up down here, tracking this way. Let's pan a little farther south. And this is the storm that had tracked south of Logan, is now just to the southeast of Woodbine right here. Here's the circulation that we can see on the radar. So it's this. Here's Woodbine. Again, this is the city. These are the city streets here. This is the area of rotation. Pretty close, but just southeast of Woodbine, and US Highway 30, as I mentioned earlier, kind of goes from Logan to Woodbine and on up toward Denison. And this is just southeast of that. So, you know, it's open country. I'm sure there are some people here, but not the super populated areas. Again, the warning here, this one, I forgot now. What does this go till 8:45?
Yes.
And then the one up into Crawford County goes until 9 o'clock. So tornado warnings for those areas that we see. Big line of thunderstorms. Again, these are tough. Looks like we've got still some of these big supercell thunderstorms up there in the north central Iowa. Those are the ones where the tornadoes last a lot longer. These circulations, this one seems to be kind of weakening a bit here. This still looks pretty impressive where we got a stronger away and couplet occurring, but these ones are maybe brief tornado connection to the ground, and then it'll pick up again. Obviously potential for some strong winds where you've got the wind blowing out here like that. Let me get out of the way a little bit. And you can see this one tracking up to the east northeast right here, but just north of Denison, maybe even far enough north that the wind, the strongest wind, misses Denison just to the north here. So a couple of tornado potential producing storms into west central Iowa, but just north of the Omaha Metro. Let's get back down to the Omaha Metro. Live look from our camera at 72nd and Crown Point. We're in the middle of the rain. Raining hard in through here. Raining hard in Carter Lake. There is 72nd and Crown Point. That looks like it's pointing toward the east, because I think downtown right there, look at the flashes of lightning. Wow, the heaviest rain appears to be right now kind of in that area, Carter Lake, Eppley Airfield, west end of Council Bluffs. in downtown Omaha. And, you know, as you're looking that way, roads are wet down here. Just heard a rumble of thunder inside the building, and we're soundproofed pretty well. Pea-sized hail outside the TV station. Good thing is that pea-sized hail won't cause issues to cars and roofs. You really got to get greater than 1 inch in diameter and probably golf ball sized to cause substantial problems. And it doesn't look like that right now over the Omaha Metro, but lightning for sure. And again, these storms are continuing to move through the Omaha Metro. A little wider view with our radar if you go over to Max.
Eppley just reporting a gust of 57 miles an hour.
Caitlin, thank you. You know, that was the whole deal with the warning. We thought, you know, between, you know, 60 and 70 mile per hour wind gusts were possible. Eppley measured 57. I'm sure somebody could have seen more than that. But the good news, again, this is early in the season. Don't have a lot of trees that have leaves. They're budding now. We're seeing, you know, some things have little bits of growth on them, but don't catch a lot of wind just yet. And the ground is pretty dry, so roots aren't going to be pulled out real quickly. So I don't think we're going to have a huge amount of tree damage. Wonder about the power outages. A lot of cloud to ground lightning. I don't know if somebody can pull up the OPPD power outage map and give us an update on what we have for customers without power. But cloud to ground lightning, like we're seeing, certainly causes issues from time to time. But we've got a line of thunderstorms that extends from Storm Lake, Iowa, to Denison, to Omaha, down through Sarpy County, and then now east of Lincoln, and only 800, Andrew Bine tells me, 800 customers without power so far in the area. The bulk of those in Saunders County, where it did look like the storm was a little worse. Douglas County, 213, Sarpy, 91, Johnson County, 65. That's a lot. I wonder if there's something stronger coming into Johnson County now for not a huge population, but Johnson County's down here with Tecumseh. So we'll see. Looks like power outage is right there. Is that right? So kind of just in that area, right in through here, a little bit of western Sarpy, middle of Omaha, you're going to have that. And looks like that area around Cedar Bluffs, a little bigger square right in through there. Maybe that's where the bulk of the power outage was here in Saunders County. So when you look at the power outages, a lot of times you'll find that that was where some stronger winds went through. So the radar did look like large hail and strong winds from this area to here. And then this eventually spun up into the storm that produced the possible tornado that went on the Douglas and Washington County line and kind of tracked up to the northeast through there. So we'll see whether there's more damage or power lines. But we got to keep watching the leading edge of this stuff all the way through here. Let's get back onto Max, because that area we were watching near La Platte is now near Bellevue. I got to get out of the way. Can you guys pan this up a little bit here?
And we are starting to get reports of small hail in the Bellevue area.
Zoom in on that, because it looks like the leading edge
pea-sized.
there has got a little bit of a little notch out into the front of it here. Yeah. And that's what we'd looked at all along. When you get that, sometimes that's the initial indication of some little rotation forming. How about velocity on this here? Yeah, wow.
Yeah, we got something.
I'll bet you that they're going to have to go, maybe go tornado warning or something here. So we got a pretty strong outbound right in through here. This is the area just on the far southeast side of the Omaha Metro.
And they're going to be issuing that warning here any moment.
So tornado warning. This is
warning.
going to be Pottawattamie County, and just going to catch the far southeast edge.
Mills, Pottawattamie, and Sarpy counties until 9 p.m. That's the tornado warning. We just saw that rotation there. 7 miles southeast of Council Bluffs. Let me see if I can get.
We're hearing it going here, so we're getting I'm hearing the warning. If you're in Sarpy County, you might hear the siren sounded. Same thing if you're into Mills and Pottawattamie County, but that's the area rotation. It's, you know, we're hopefully, pardon me, nothing happened here in La Platte or South Bellevue, but, you know, that storm looked like it was starting to get together. When we were looking at La Platte, it looked like there was a little notch there. And what we're watching for is the leading edge of this stuff. You know, maybe as it's gotten here into the hills across the river, there's something that got it going here. But this would be 74 miles per hour of rotational velocity here, one of the stronger ones we've seen so far tonight. Hopefully my microphone's okay here. Just heard some static. Anyway, got a track on that.
Just looking at the community of Trainer at 858, with this particular radar indicated tornado that we're seeing right now, velocity moving off to the north and east.
Macedonia also, not too long after that.
Yep. So, I mean, that's the line. The good news is that these have been pretty stable in their motion to the east-northeast. So if we, you see the warning, goes until 9 o'clock. Quite honestly, if you're in Bellevue, it's already past you. So that's not really, I don't even know why Sarpy County is in this. It's really northern Mills, southern Pottawattamie County, and it's already just to the southeast of Council Bluffs. All right. Take off the warning, and let's see if we can track the area of rotation where it was. It just kind of spun up here east of Cedar Creek, and this really is the continuation of where we had that first warning out in, and this is kind of how it is usually when we're tracking these thunderstorms. This was the rotation that was out in Seward County, and then northern Lancaster County, and then it got into the Omaha Metro, and it wasn't as strong, but now this is what we have, and it's all the way over here now. Got a live look south of Council Bluffs here. So it's just south of what we call Dumfries. Wow, look at that. This is I-29 and 192nd Street here. And I guess this is looking north. I mean, look at you saw the crossing wind that was blowing there. So I'm sure there's got to be something there into extreme southern Pottawattamie County, east of Council Bluffs, and northern Mills County. Let's get back to the radar here because that, again, is right on that line here. Get back to max. Okay, so it's right here, 6620. Let's look at the reflectivity on this if we could. Plain old OAX reflectivity would be right through there. So see the notch right through here? Go ahead and clear out that. So this is where you got a little spin up on the leading edge of the line of thunderstorms is coming on through, and that's why there's this new tornado warning. So that is really zoomed in here. So right on the county line here, just northwest of Mineola, Silver City. You know, the Wabash Trace bike trail kind of goes right on through there, but it's sort of between Mineola and Council Bluffs where this is at. So it's right in through here. Caitlin says Sarpy County is now no longer in the warning because it is already into Mills and Pottawattamie County. And again, it's tracking in it'll be heading toward Trainer. I mean, this is going to be close. I know there is some building, housing developments here through southwestern Pottawattamie County. So some folks are going to be in the path of this thing as this is tracking kind of just barely north of Mineola, near or just south of Trainer as this keeps moving on way. We should probably check on those warnings that we had up to the northeast as well when we get a chance. So Trainer, Carson out there, right? 9 o'clock was the possible projection there. All right, so again, we had the warning here, and then now north of Denison, tornado warning. This one goes until 8:45. The circulation looks a little weaker, and then north of Denison also tracking wind. Let's zoom in real quick here and check the velocity, see if we can see anything on that one. All right, so go to velocity mode. Still looks impressive here, but it went far enough north of Denison and just southeast of Schleswig. There's the rotation. If you're in Wall Lake or Lakeview, it's going to be heading in your direction. This is the other one that we had been following down here, and this is here, kind of heading toward Erling, maybe a new area of rotation. And put the warnings back on. Is that still valid? So the warning was here. So that was actually up farther north. This looks like a new potential area rotation here. If you could pan the radar a little farther north up here. So that's away from Omaha. This would be a little area of rotation. This is what we have right now. This is the area of rotation that was prior. Manteno, east of Dunlap. So most of the population here is along Highway 30. And this is tracking over this extreme northwest corner of Shelby County, where there is a warning, but there's Erling, there's Defiance. It's out here. and tracking across up into Crawford County. There's Dow City, Arion right there. So it's right here now, and it went just south of Dunlap right here. Kind of looks like we have to watch this down here near Panama. Maybe something else will spin up there, but that was the one. The other one is getting out of the viewing area up into northern parts of Crawford County. All right, back down to Pottawattamie County. Again, severe thunderstorm, potential tornado warning in effect for this area southeast of Omaha. Again, this is in Pottawattamie County and moving to the east. If you're near Trainer, this is headed towards you. Let's close in a little more and let's go with just reflectivity.
Yeah,
this is it right here.
Doesn't look that impressive like it was.
Yeah, Anthony, it's it's one of those things where could be brief. Probably the velocity is a little better to track with this, and it is really on the leading edge. And you're right, it's not as impressive as ones that were farther north, but it's close. And there is more population in this area here. I mean, there are people a fair amount in Trainer, and really all along. This is Highway 92 through here, so you got housing developments that have been built. Carson is in the path too. And then closer to Council Bluffs, there is more population here, but it went just south of there, north of Mineola and south of Dumfries. This is the area of rotation right here. And then again, tracking to the east and also northeast. So I don't know if we can look at just the regular reflectivity on that. So it's still there.
And then good news for our friends up north, Harrison and Shelby County, that tornado warning has been allowed to expire.
That is good news, Caitlin. That's it's hard, you get into nighttime this to see what's going on. They just have to try to track the circulation center, see how it is. This looks like there still could be something there. I guess one of the difficult things, you're looking at this from the other side of the rain, so the radar, even the one out at Valley, has to shoot through the rain, and it's harder to get clarity on what's happening on the leading edge of that. But it still looks like there's some kind of a notch there. Doesn't look quite as impressive, but it's right here. So north of Mineola, just on the Pottawattamie Mills County line. I would say, if you're in Trainer, you're in the middle of a tornado warning, you should go to safe shelter. Hopefully this weakens a little bit. It kind of looks like it could be just barely south of Trainer, but I know there's some development in that area here. Yep, 8:55.
Yeah, the storm's still on track at 8:55 to arrive in Trainer, Carson at 9:12. A little bit more to the east, but that small signature of rotation, even the recent update with the radar scan,
yeah,
not seeing much of.
It doesn't look as impressive as it did, Anthony. You're right, and it, pretty big jump there. That just shows you how fast it's moving here. How about reflectivity? I mean, this is kind of, it's almost over Trainer right now. If you're in Trainer, the little notch is right there, but it's not as impressive as it once was. It's tracking out to the east, and the warning till 9 o'clock. Is that right? The warning for that one?
Yes, it still has
a
warning for until 9 o'clock, so about 14 minutes.
We'll see. I mean, these things sometimes they've canceled them early. I wouldn't be surprised. This doesn't look as good as it did. I don't know if our radar has a chance to kind of peer into that. If we switch over to our reflectivity and then velocity.
And we do have a brand new tornado warning back up north. Some of the earlier rotation near Woodbine dissipated a little bit, but new rotation, so back for Shelby County until 9 p.m. This is near Panama and Erling.
Right, yeah. Caitlin, we were just looking at that earlier and saying it looked like the northern one had weakened, but now they went with the one that was near.
And that's until 9 p.m.
Panama and Erling. So go ahead and zoom in on that one, Anthony, where we've got up here to the north. That's the new warning. That goes until 9 o'clock. So, and then put that in velocity mode, and we'll see. So it's right here. So there's Panama, there's Erling. This actually is really quite strong outbound velocity, but we're up pretty high into the atmosphere now. But this is the rotation, and it's tough to tell. Is it this, or is it this? This is what had been the tornado warning, was for this area of rotation. these winds are a lot stronger. If you sample that velocity not too far from Erling, what do we got there?
104.
Wow. How high up in the atmosphere is that?
The height is about 3,200.
Yeah, so, you're getting up.
3,800, excuse me.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
above
range
the-
is about 60 miles out from this.
Right, so
radar
farther out, higher up in the atmosphere you're going to get. So it's strong. There could be really strong surface winds, but just because of how this has been going, every time we see a signature like that, the Weather Service has to kind of go with it and track it. So new tornado warning goes until 9 o'clock maybe, and this is headed right toward Defiance. Defiance is right on Highway 59 in the northern part of Shelby County right there. So, it is going to track right over you. So please, if you're in Defiance, you got to be in some safe shelter. You're right in the middle of the warning, and it's just about on top of you right now. I mean, the lead time is almost nothing there. So see how that kind of spun up right through here. So all of a sudden, boom, right there, the strongest wind. How about just plain old velocity on that? Same thing, animate it. Yeah, right there. So strong winds. What is the the reflectivity? I'm sorry. Look like if we just go. Yeah. So right through here, and again, it's a little ways out. So just better safe than sorry as far as the National Weather Service goes. Let's get back down to Pottawattamie County, where we've got the warning until 9 o'clock. Also for this area into Trainer. Still, looks like it's kind of surged out. So possible tornado right over Trainer right now. If you stop that and let's go to the velocity, see how it looks as it's come on through there. Still some indication, strong outbound, not quite so strong, so perhaps there's some rotation. This would be, just east of Trainer now, so if it did go through, it went kind of on the south edge of Trainer, and now it's just to the east and tracking along Highway 92, which is this line right through here into Pottawattamie County. And then, we'll continue to edge off to the east there. This farther north, that's Highway 6 that tracks through the northern part of Pottawattamie County. And then off to the east. Go ahead, Caitlin.
Mills has been allowed to get out of that warning, but it does remain in place until 9 o'clock. Still seeing that radar indicated couple that you were just talking about near Trainer.
Yep.
Nothing on the ground yet.
Probably not ready to, it goes until 9, so they'll probably let that keep going, at least for the time being, because there's still at least a signature there. And how about anything off to the south and west? I don't see, we have to look at the leading edge of these things. What about this down here, south of Plattsmouth? All right, and then let's look at the reflectivity on it. And then widen that out again and look farther south down into Odo County. Okay, so this will have to be watched here. This is not too far from Union. So Murray, east of there is Beaver Lake. Nebraska City down here, so sort of right in there. I think Wakanda is the lake development that's right in through here in the southeast part of Cass County. So severe thunderstorm warning for that area, but have to kind of keep an eye on these thunderstorms as they track to the east. So far, that's not too bad. How about widen out? Let's keep looking at the leading edge all the way down into southeast Nebraska. None of this too bad through here, but leading edges, sometimes you get a spin up. So we'll watch this spot right here. This is Johnson County, Tecumseh, Odo County, Syracuse, looks like heavy rainfall there. Nebraska City, okay. Gage County, starting to clear out to the east of there. All right, let's get back up to the Omaha Metro here now. Again, the Omaha area, I'm going to say fingers crossed, got out okay. Thank you, Julie. As you look at the current storm tracking through the middle of Pottawattamie County, now just east of Trainer, from there, and also west of Carson, that storm is moving east. The warning south of Omaha goes until 9:30. This, if there is a spin up, it's kind of this right over Trainer and tracking east. We'll wait for a new picture to come in, but I expect the next picture we'll see it kind of in this area, kind of between Trainer and just to the northwest of Carson, moving on out to the east there. Guys, I don't know if we have more Power outage, anything new on that? If we can put the power outage map up, we'll check that one out. There you can see the tornado warning again. So this is the couplet now. Moved pretty far. And the good news, guys, right? I mean, here's Carson. Looks like it's going to be just north of Carson. Oakland's a bigger community, though, so we'll have to watch that because it kind of looks like it's headed sort of in that direction, but doesn't look as impressive as it did right now.
Yeah, Bill, I won't be surprised if they cancel that pretty soon because we've been tracking it over the past 15 minutes and it's just been, at least the rotation signature has been weaker and weaker each scan. So
Yep.
Still have that tornado warning, at least for Pottawattamie County. It's at 9 o'clock. Embedded in that, still have a pretty large polygon of severe thunderstorm warnings. That goes into 9:30. That includes most of our Iowa communities. But as you said earlier about the metro area, we haven't seen any widespread reports of power outages or significant size hail. We just, I believe, outside of that strong wind gust reported out of Eppley, most of the winds have been primarily to the north of us in Washington County and Blair. More than likely, as we mentioned earlier, we have a crew going out there to see if we have any reports of significant damage. But again, still looking at this tornado warning to 9 o'clock. We're looking at the front edge of this storm for possible rotation, but these over the past hour or so, we've just been seeing quick spun up tornadoes. We haven't seen anything that's defiant as far as a strong couplet when we go to velocity. Even right now, still looking at.
Yeah, you're right, Anthony. It doesn't look any more impressive, maybe even less so than it did before, but still have to watch into Taylor, Carson, Oakland. Please, if you're in those areas, you want to be able to get to a safe shelter pretty quickly if you could. Again, that's the storm that moved over Bellevue and La Platte. There probably was some hail with that. I don't know if there is now. But again, the storm looks like it's kind of edging out away from the Omaha metro area here. There's the leading edge again, that little notch right in through here. Not as impressive as it once was. It moved on out. Still sort of there. Continuing to move off to the east, though, at least the present time. We could widen all the way out here on the radar and get a sense for what we have. Okay. So, again, the line of storms continues working eastward. This tornado warning set to expire at 9. That one also a 9 o'clock warning, is that right?
Yes, the one in Pottawattamie County, 9 o'clock. The one in Shelby is 9 o'clock as well.
Okay.
And the far northern one, Crawford County, 9 o'clock.
All those are 9 o'clock warnings.
5
Okay,
minutes.
so we'll see leading edge of the thunderstorm line as it continues to work to the east, out of the Omaha metro area here, and then down south, Plattsmouth to Nebraska City. We're watching maybe a little bit of a notch right through there, and also into Nebraska City itself here, but so far so good. Bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings till 9:30 here now for Nebraska City, for Auburn, Pawnee City. Also here into western Iowa, Red Oak in the same severe thunderstorm warning. Leading edge of thunderstorms into Harlan. Again, it looked like let's go to velocity and zoom in just so we can kind of check that up there. This was up going through near Defiance. This is good. This doesn't look as strong as it came through Erling and looked like maybe there was some strong wind by Defiance and then go forward. So it went here, here, and there now. So it went right over Manila, but the signature is not as strong for toward and away. Mostly just kind of outbound there and out of Shelby County. So either they need a new warning here for Crawford County.
They actually just canceled that warning for Shelby County.
Good deal. Okay. And then same thing. Let's look at the velocity down here in Pottawattamie County because it does look a bit weaker too. Yep. And again, so moving over here over Taylor. Any update if they're going to cancel that one or let it go?
No, just actually, you keep calling them, Bill. A tornado warning canceled for Pottawattamie County.
Awesome. All right, so we've got severe thunderstorm warnings across the area. I believe we've got news coming up on MeTV shortly. Guys, are we going to try and get to that? Yeah, so we're going to go to that, but and I guess we'll break here and then go to that at 9 o'clock here. So The good news, so Caitlin, Anthony, you're right. This one is expiring at 9.
Pottawattamie, Shelby expired up into Crawford.
9 o'clock, that one's, and then Crawford County, that one goes
Still.
until 9. We'll see if they continue with that. But the good news, all the tornado warnings in our viewing area set to expire. There are more tornado warnings farther north and east with some of the big storms, but the line has mostly made it through the Omaha metro. And then southeast Nebraska, still some thunderstorms to watch down here. Guys, can you put the lightning strikes back on real quick here? And there has been a lot of cloudy ground lightning that's gone over the Omaha metro. But that is also mostly into Iowa here, and Harlan, pretty good thunderstorm, but the worst of it went by north. Council Bluffs, the worst of this storm went by to the south, lightning and thunder. And then you see the showers and thunderstorms continue to southeast Nebraska, but at this point, just severe thunderstorm warnings for those areas. Does the metro warning expire at 9 o'clock also here? So Douglas County, looks like that goes until 9:30.
9:30 for Douglas County.
Okay. Sarpy County, this is all part of the same warning.
Yes.
So that severe thunderstorm warning technically still in effect, but perhaps at least for Omaha, Douglas County, it looks like it's moving out of the county as well. So you'll just have to kind of let me know when we're done and switching over to MeTV there. So this is going to expire. That one also already having expired. The thunderstorms continuing to western Iowa, but just a little bit weaker now than they had been as they track eastward and will continue. But now that the sun is set, the atmosphere cooling down a little bit. These storms could still be severe as they head into Carroll and Audubon and also Atlantic. So we'll keep on monitoring those areas. Please continue to follow the situation as the storms are tracking. We're going to be doing a newscast on MeTV coming up shortly here. And then, of course, our regular news at 10 o'clock. So again, back to our regular programming for now.